In the process of making these videos, I'm realizing how scatterbrained I am, have been, and probably will be. There is so much random going on. My clips don't really follow a pattern. I think many times I think I've recorded something and I haven't. So apologies for the scatteredness of this video this week. My name is Hannah, this is iHas Art, and in this channel I'm doing a year of stash busting. I'm not allowed to buy new craft material until I basically get through the majority of my stuff. I crochet, I paint, and I've attempted to sculpt. Stay tuned if you like what you see or are curious about my ramblings as a crafty person. Baby really wants me to sing to her at all times right now. It's really hard on the voice. Progress on my Dreamcatcher Cardi, which, as you can see with my husband in the background making his coffee, is almost there. So I actually deviated from the pattern on this one. The pattern asked for a rib sleeve coming off the main shoulder holes essentially. Because I haven't blocked it, I didn't realise how long it actually was, and I was worried it was a bit short, but actually no, it's quite a good length. And I still have to do some edging to it anyway, so it will be perfect once it's all edged. The one thing I am changing though is I want the sleeves to be a bit looser, so I'm going to do a small puff sleeve which I'll end in a rib cuff, and I've been using this Caron Simply Soft yarn for that. I am just using a single strand because I thought, because I tried doing it with a double strand, but I thought that would be too hot, and I didn't want this to be a super warm thing, more like something to throw over my shoulders in the chillier evenings. So it's still going to be warm and cozy, but not like I'm in a sleeping bag kind of warm and cozy. So I'm just doing a single strand on the sleeves and gonna do like a puff sleeve probably from just above the elbows, and then do sort of a 3/4 length sleeve or something. That is the plan, and I'm pretty confident I can finish that this week along with a bucket hat, so it seems to be quite a productive week so far. The other thing is progress on my crochet hook. Look at him! So I have got the proper egg dry clay stuff out, not the foamy stuff. The foamy stuff got nice and hard, and now I'm onto the proper clay, although this is also air dry clay, so I have to work so fast. I'm not used to it. But I took the top off and it was just falling over everywhere, so I'm going to have to reattach this. But you can see where it was starting to dry and it got really cracked. So I have to be quite careful. I have to go. This is another bit where I thought I actually recorded what I wanted to say, and I didn't. So what you're seeing here is my progress on the Dreamcatcher cardigan. Initially I wanted to try and do like a puff sleeve, however I ended up frogging all this and didn't like it in the end. It didn't look right, it didn't feel right. So I went back and lo and behold I followed what the pattern suggested. So I ended up doing the double-stranded ribbed sleeve, and as you can see later on in the video, I actually quite liked how this worked in the end. My baby has discovered the squealing noise, and there's a lot of movement going on outside, so I really hope that this isn't too noisy clip. But I have finished the sleeves. Looky! I'm really pleased with how these came out, and they're just about the right length, and they'll sort of stretch a bit over time anyway. I'm really happy with like the colour choice, it works really well. And so now I've started on the trim. So this is going to be similar to the sleeves. It's going to go, ooh look, I've dropped a stitch. Whoops. Oh dear. So similar to the sleeves, it's supposed to go all the way around. This is the only yarn I have left. My feelings exactly. I'm using a double strand to get that chunky look, and I've done quite well so far. but I don't think I'm going to make it. So now I'm on the fence about whether I should remove the trim entirely, but I really like the look of it with the trim, or if I take it off entirely, or I take it off and start again with a single strand. But I tried the single strand on the sleeves and it looked a bit weird. But still, there's no guarantee that I'll have enough yarn. Or I break my stash busting rule and get the extra yarn for this particular project. I could use some of the stuff that I like saved from another project, but I really like the colour and how this works with the whole garment, and it kind of brings it together. So I kind of want to stick with the same colour as the sleeves. So it might just be a knot at all, and maybe later I will add the trim. That will probably make the most sense. A part of me kind of just wants to, a part of me wants to just kind of go around and use up this stuff and then see how far I get. Currently, I'm only this far. We shall see. Ah! I bought the baby a busy board. It's very cute, but she's gonna be really noisy with it. Is that good, Baba? So with the sunshine being out this past week, I'm really realizing that Bubba really needs a sun hat. It's been glorious weather, but poor little thing does not have much resistance from the sun. So stash busting, what can we do? Well, luckily I have lots and lots of cotton yarn. I wanted to use cotton yarn because it would breathe, so it wouldn't be too hot, and I have some great colours for a pattern I found in here. This was a book my sister gave me a few years ago for my birthday. It's 3D granny squares, 100 crochet patterns, and it's a great little book. It has lots of ideas, shows you how to do the stitches, and just lots of really fun 3D granny squares essentially. So there's like flowers, there's animals, and some really fun ideas of how to repurpose them. So I love this one. I really want to do this at some point. Is the clay cube, so you can have lots of different animals as they grow up to learn. We've entered the squealing phase. So I love this pattern. It's where, or just this idea of assembling these different animal granny squares into a play cube, so you can have different textures and you can kind of learn the different animals with the baby. So it's a great little book. My only feedback on it is that the text is tiny. So yeah, those with hard eyesight, maybe wait for the daylight hours and maybe a magnifying glass for this one. So there is a pattern in this book which I thought would be perfect for a sun hat. And it's sunflowers! How cute is this? So this is all using the Drops U cotton yarn. So it's very thin, but it's really nice and lightweight. So I thought this would be great for a hat. And my plan is to make 4 of these. I'm going to make 4 little squares. I might have to add an extra section in between so it's big enough for her head as she grows during the summer, but I'll just be making a bucket hat basically out of this. I think I already have 3 of these, maybe, or like 2.5, so I'm not too far into making it. It's been quite a quick make, which has been really nice actually, so we'll see how that develops. Screaming! I made the decision to just take the edging off. So I've tucked in all my ends, they're all sewn in. All my ends are sewn in, the garment is officially finished. I quite like that you get this nice chunky sleeve once it's all rolled up. Normally I'm not into the big chunky stuff like this, but actually I think it worked quite well. And if I think about why I made it in the first place, I think this will serve its purpose just fine. My logic for just going back and getting rid of the trim in the end was, if I run out of yarn going through it, I don't want to sort of sacrifice having a subpar look that I'm not really happy with just to use up the yarn. But I can always come back later and add edging. So if I find that I have another yarn somewhere that might match, although I really like this Caron black currant, I think the colour was called. I'd like to get more of this eventually to finish it off, but it doesn't have to be done straight away. So for example, if I get a good head weight in my stash and I feel like, yep, it really does need that trim, I can either find something that's suitable from the stash. There might be another one, it's not quite the same color, but it might work. Or I can just treat myself to another skein or two to finish off the edging on this. And that can be done at a future date. So overall, I'm really happy with the outcome. I really recommend the pattern. It's really quick to come up, really fun. If anything, I'd probably be tempted to do more of the mandala shape in the back. So I might be tempted to try doing that on another pattern at another time. So we shall see. Yay! It's a great free pattern if you can get your hands on it. There is also a paid version if you don't want to have all the ads on the block. As usual, every pattern that I use I'll link down in the description. And to wrap up this week's video, progress on my little bucket hat! Yay! So the hat, I was hoping it would kind of be like a flat circle when I joined it all, but it didn't work out like that. I think what I should have done is done the circle piece separate and then stitched it in, but what I did is just did continuous rounds in. So it's kind of got this pointed hat thing. I did try it on the baby when she was asleep and it does fit, so maybe it will help her grow, grow with her when over the summer. And I've just started the trim as well. I ended up having to do an extra round in between the squares just to kind of get the right width. She has a big head apparently. Well, actually she's quite tiddly. And yeah, I'm pleased with how it's coming out. If I feel like that this pointed hat thing is a bit weird, then I'll come back and fix it, but I think for now it's fine. I can always make another one that isn't sunflowers. Yay! That is the end of this week's video. I'm sorry for how scattered it has been, but if you've been enjoying these ramblings and learning from my mistakes as we go along, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I love hearing what you guys are working on, and any feedback on the videos is also great to hear. I've had a very noisy baby all the way through. She's definitely finding her voice and very close to crawling. So we will see how regularly I'll be able to keep these videos up. But I've been uploading every Monday so far, so all working out so good. So all working out well so far.